here with him, even for handing over. I wanted to see which is this Machakos. Far away from where I was, and I was principal in Western Province. Western what? Kakamega County. Okay? I came to see exactly where this school was. I wanted to see the house where he was going to live. I wanted to meet the teachers that he was going to be with. And in fact, I met a number of them. I remember there was this SMT meeting which he had with his HODs. And I attended that meeting. Do you remember the meeting? Yes. What did I tell you? That this is a very good man because I know him from the house. And I'll be very disappointed if he was mistreated here. I told them to treat him so well, and you would treat them so well. Teachers, did I tell you that? Yes. Did he treat you well? Yes. Because you treated him? Yes. And because you treated him well, he improved the school. Look at what he did in this school. I was a frequent visitor here. You know, to keep on coming to ensure that he was okay and to give the right support. Although I'm very disappointed that nobody even mentioned that there is the right-hand person off. Okay? And that right-hand person that made him do what? Enabled him to do what? He did. See here? Because of that, look at the school, look at the students. I like your discipline. You are seated so well. And parents, please. You see how the students are so disciplined here. At home, they should be the same, okay? Take care of them. Otherwise, I'm so happy and God bless you.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. You can see why I said if I don't give her a chance to say jambo, I can have it very rough, and the journey back cannot be very enjoyable. Thank you very much. I want to thank God for having given us time to be together again after handing over the school on the 4th of December, 4th of January, and then going to Vihiga. Of course, we have remained in contact with the principal. We call each other, we share, we meet in some meetings. And I must say that it is a great honor to be called back. It's a big honor. I've headed several schools. I've done what I think was good. They say I've done well, but none of those schools has ever called me back to be a guest of honor in any function. So I feel greatly honored. And Machakos School holds a very special place in my heart because it was the last school where I served, and I did what was humanly possible. I want to appreciate the Board of Management and the PTA for the support they gave me over the period of the 6 years as I was here. Those that have been mentioned, I would not have achieved them without the support and encouragement, without the scrutiny of the board, the scrutiny of Parents Association on your behalf, and the support of the teachers who are working with me. The naming of that house after Indimuli, I think, is a milestone, and it exemplifies the respect and the honor that the school has bestowed upon me. I have no words to say. I never expected it, though I had it being mentioned when I was still the principal, that we will name it Indimuli. I didn't comment, and when I left, I know when you leave, people easily forget you, but I'm happy I was not forgotten. So thank you very much for that support. I have some remarks to make, but I just want to appreciate the students. I know our stay has not been very good with you. Haikuwa mzuri. Saa zingine tulikuwa tunakwaruzana, lakini saa zingine tunasikizana. Yeah. As the two speakers have said, I want to respond by saying I forgive all the students for whatever funny things you are doing, and I want to wish you all the best. And regardless of what you are doing, never in my heart did I ever wish any student of Machakos School to fail or find it rough because he has behaved in a manner that I did not like. I had the students at my heart. Even when we took some to court, and some still have court cases there, I kept on meeting them and telling them, you erred. And because you erred, you have to be punished. Because punishment is there for those who erred. To the students who left last year, I want to congratulate you for the performance. Those who got the A, I'm happy the motorbikes are here. When I bought them and said people should take them, they kept remaining. Then I wondered, I'll go home and leave them here. So I was happy to learn that at least the motorbikes have gone. And it is a challenge now to the Form 4s now and the other Form 4s to come, to put a challenge to the principal to do better than what we have done, to encourage us to perform well. When we introduced this in Chabakali High School, the first year when I went there, they were also getting just 1A. Then I asked them, this is a big school, why are we getting only an A? Can't we get more? We worked and told them, I'll put 3 motorbikes there, you win them. Within the middle of the year, they told me, Mwalimu, make them 5. They told them, no, you get the 3 first. Mkifikisha 5, nitanunua zingine 2. And true to their word, they got the 5 and we had to add. The previous year, the A's moved to 18. I had to look for the 18 motorbikes. The year that followed, the A's reached 45. Now, where do I get 45 A's? Motorbikes to give these people. I went to the area MP and told him, Honorable Agoi, you know, I told these students that you will give them motorbikes. So please give me 45. He struggled and gave me the 45 motorbikes. The following year, they were 100 and something. We now told them, we can't bribe you to pass exams. You pass. Then the next year, the results were cancelled, and they said, oh, we had stolen exams. So they repeated. I had that time a total of 674 candidates. They sat the exam. Of course, they gave me a lot of trouble with the teachers. We really suffered because they were telling us, we did our exam. Bwana Principal, you are the national vice chairman. Get us our results. I couldn't. So some of these positions we hold, they look big, but they are very small when trouble comes to you. So they did the exam, repeated, and they passed. That is the time you heard that, oh, Chavakali had 600 A's. They forgot that we had 600 candidates, and the A's were not 600. Just to make things look bad for whoever is there. But they did well and went to the university. So I'm seeing these two motorbikes, Bwana Principal and the board and the parents, going today gives you a challenge. Because with the current Form 4s, the motorbikes will be more. So we must prepare for them. And they'll continue being more until we phase out 844. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank God that He allowed me to teach. And I've been a teacher for 37 years. In those 37 years, 34 of them were in position of responsibility as a deputy and as a principal. And I have seen the transition to university in all those schools of a total of 6,180 students qualifying to university over the period of 34 years. Machakos School alone, I've seen the transition of 1,638 students transiting to university between the period I took over and when I left, translating to 77.52% of the candidates that I presented that went to the university. That is no mean achievement. And totally, overall, for 37 years, I have transited 85% of the candidates I presented to the university. And they are amongst the Gen Zs and others who have come up so strongly this time. So I want to thank God. I know when I came to Machakos School, as Madam said, it was not very easy for us. I wanted to resist the transfer, but again, I was the national chairman, and I was to set an example in what was the infamous delocalization. So I was the first to be delocalized. So when I took up my position here at Machakos School, any other principal who wanted to refuse to be delocalized was told, if the chairman has gone, who are you? So I became the benchmark, though we never liked it, but we moved on. I remember at that time, the current chief principal was being delocalized from Makueni to the Coast region, and we were sharing cries together as we were trying to see how to resist. Little did I know that after 6 years, I would be handing over to him. Machakos School is in safe hands. If mine were safe, his are safer. So you need to support him. That is what I would say. I may not have been the best of principals. I may not have been the best for Machakos School. But I did what I was able to do within the powers that I had, what was humanly possible, and what was within the law that expected me to do. You've showered me with the praises here, which I want to acknowledge. But in those showers of praises, I too had my own weaknesses. One of my major weaknesses was listening too much. This one you are now telling the president, you are not listening. Too much listening is also a problem. Because you listen too much, and sometimes in the process of listening, you are derailed. You listen to the teachers, you are listening to the students, you are listening to parents. Mr. Principal, me, I'll be very honest. Don't listen too much. Don't listen. Listen to a certain extent. I listened a lot. In the process of listening, parents would fail to pay fees because they know they'll go and talk to Mr. Indimuli. Mr. Indimuli is sympathetic. He'll listen, and then he'll leave my child in. And as I leave, hoping that the promise made will be done, the parent knows very well Mr. Indimuli will not follow because he has too much on his hands. He'll not remember I was supposed to pay fees on a certain day. Don't listen. I would listen to students. Oh, we need this. Teacher A is not teaching. I check. But as you listen to them, some are wayward. When I discover a dome is being banned, now you ask yourself, where is the problem? These people, I'm listening to them, but still there is fire burning. So even when you are asking the president, listen, he will listen. Sometimes what you are being told may be derailing you to focus in a certain direction, and in this direction, mambo inafanyika. Don't listen too much. That was one of my biggest weaknesses. My other weakness was being too supportive, too sympathetic. Supportive. Well, you had the students say, I would give bus fare to those who don't have bus fare. So even those who have money and needed an extra cent when going home, they come to the principal with a sympathetic face. And no fare. What? I gather wakina Kahi and others, Ebuto watoeni pesa kidogo, tunapeana. Wakifika gate, they are celebrating. They are celebrating because they now have something extra. But that is growth. And at no time do we stop learning. So I learned, and that's why I can tell the principal, don't listen too much. Listen, all right, but not too much. I listened too much. I want to say, we have worked together to improve the infrastructure that ensures that teaching and learning is on. Because of the forecast, having served on so many task forces in the education, so many committees in education, I was able to see where is the education going in a few years to come. And therefore prepare Machakos School for that takeoff. And that is why you saw I tried to invest a lot in technology. Because that is where we are heading to. As we prepare, Mr. Chairman, for senior secondary school, technology is going to play a very big role. We are talking about 60% of students coming from junior secondary going to senior secondary to take STEM. 60% of them. And when I was doing my mathematics, and this I asked the minister one time, when we are working on these numbers and we are talking about 60%, with the current population of grade 8 students, we are talking of about 982,000 students to get to STEM schools. How many schools are ready? Machakos School, what percentage of the 60% are we going to take? That's why I was preparing ourselves for technological takeoff. Because we need to be in that space of STEM. And the parents, please be ready to support the board and the principal in that area. That is why when I left the principal with the blueprints of construction of 2 twin laboratories. Because Machakos School, with its age, the one lab that Professor Dr. Muove Wakili used, engineer here, the one laboratory for chemistry, one lab for physics, one lab for biology, is what we are still using to date. We have stagnated there. And that is why even the performance of sciences in our school would have been better if we had opportunities to give our students that much needed hands-on. So my next project was a twin lab, which I left the principal to follow. We had even written to the Ministry of Education for infrastructure funding. But you are aware the Ministry of Education does not give funds for infrastructure. And that is why I want to thank the Board of Management for approving and allowing us to do what we would call an unauthorized way of getting funds to build the classes we are now saying, the dormitory we are now talking about, and other things. As we negotiated with the parents then for that gentleman's agreement of paying for infrastructure development, the 20,000, we went also to ask the bank to support us so that as you collect, we are able to pay. And that's how we achieved. But if we were to sit back and say that government is going to give us money for infrastructure, it would not be there. We would not have reached where we are today. So I want to thank the parents who supported that venture with the board, the parents, and of course, the teachers for what we achieved together. The 6 years that I was here, ladies and gentlemen, was both exciting and at times also annoying. Exciting because I was working amongst people, making new friends amongst the students, my colleague teachers, the environment, and I was seeing us move forward. But annoying because at times you would not get what you are planning to get. That the people you are supposed to work with to give you would not reach where you want them to reach. You want to push the teachers to reach a certain level, they are not reaching there. You want to push the students to reach a certain level, they are not reaching there. It becomes disappointing. Those are the pains of leadership. Sometimes you are not told. You only come to hear later, this is what is going on. Then you wonder, but I'm talking to these people daily. How come nobody is telling me that Mr. So-and-so is not attending classes? Why am I getting it from the students? So I want to call on the teachers. They are great people. They supported me well. But at times, they chose not to share vital information. And that is true. Me, I'm like Rigiji. I'm a truthful person. I'm truthful. Sharing that vital information. Just a tip, you don't get it. I would discover and come back and address them. They will remember at times I would not have very kind words. At times I would come and change my face, and during the brief I look at them and say, what are you doing here? Kenya. I know they would come and ask the secretary, how is he? How is he this morning? Have you? How is he? Because sometimes you come, you are annoyed, so they would not want to face what I would say when I'm annoyed. But that is nature. That is what we face in position of leadership. And I want to tell the teachers, well, wale nilikanyaga, it was haikuwa mbaya. I not that I hated you. I was just doing my, na pia nyinyi mlinikanyaga pia. So tulikuwa tunakanyagana. But because if we can't step on each other, then we can't move. When you are too friendly. But I hope there are those of you I told before I left, please change. That you are lucky I came to Machakos school when I was getting older. I think somebody has remembered. When I'm getting tired in running around. But if some of you here go to me 10 years earlier, hamungekuwa hapa. Those are what we will talk silently. I would also tell the boys here, in my former schools, I had a nickname. At Tokoya Secondary School, I was being called General Maliamu. Because I would not I would not take nonsense. And that time, you know the height of Amin in Uganda. When I came to the Higa boys, they moved from General to Black Rhino. Because I'm black, my vehicle was black, and I used to carry a black nyaunyo in the vehicle. And I would cane you where I get you. Be it in Majengo market, cane you sending you back to Vihiga. Same to Chavakali when I went there. Then Chavakali, it was Black Rhino and at the same time Zig Ziglar. Because now I started being the wise man, quoting from Zig Ziglar and his books. I don't know what Machakos school nicknamed it. It was just Indies. Because at that time now, the wisdom had gone beyond, so I was just the wise old man. But I used to tell them, what I'm telling you today will be very helpful to you tomorrow. And I hope they have never forgotten that, those who heard and listened. And even the parents, I would tell you, you gave us young boys. When they live here, they are men. And they are going to stand up against you. And when I told the government sometimes back that what we are doing today, not giving us opportunities to direct these students, not giving us the regulations to operationalize the Students' Act. Wakili is here, no. The Students' Act is anchored in Ministry of Labor. It is not anchored in the Ministry of Education. But it is being used to punish teachers and punish parents sometimes when they go against their children. We must, and I say this, we need regulations, Wakili, to operationalize the Students' Act, the Children's Act in Ministry of Education. Without it, we will continue to err. One of my painful time here in Machakos school, leave alone the fires, I would get annoyed and tell the students, chomeni, but you are going nowhere. Kama mnapanga kwenda nyumbani, hamwendi. Choma, lakini mtakaa. Mkimaliza kuchoma zote, ndio mtaenda. Because that was not going to be used as an excuse to stop learning. They would sleep anywhere. I would ask the TTC to allow us as we repair. And we never used to charge parents. It's only one case when we now felt this is too much that we chose. Sat down with the board and the PTA executive and now decided, because we have even students we have seen, parents must also come in. So that is beside. That was not as painful. But what was very painful is when I lost 3 teachers on interdiction. Why? Because a parent went and reported that the teachers have killed their child. It involved the deputy principal, the teacher in charge of physics, teaching physics and maths, another teacher teaching chemistry and mathematics, senior teachers of the school. And within that 1 year, we lost 3 experienced examiners and very hardworking teachers. I never cried when we had fires. That was the second time I cried as a principal. Because I wondered, why does this parent feel that the teachers, as teachers, we are animals? Only for it to be found that the photographs that were circulating were photoshopped. But today, the teachers suffered interdiction, suspension, and got transferred after their suspension. And 2 still have a court case running. Parents, please, no teacher in his rightful mind will want to injure, knowingly to injure your child. Because these are also our children. And I must admit, in 37 years, I've gained many. And me, my standing order was 6. Standing order. You enter kwanza kabla tujakesi 6. There is my students amongst you, they will tell you 6. Then we case. After casing, if I tell you 1, I'll give you 1 K. It means you will first get the 6 and then 1. If it is 2, you will first get the 6 and then 2. But it's not because I hate you. And many today, when I looked at the Facebook when Madam posted, when I was handing over in Mombasa and posted that we have finished our journey, the comments I was getting from students we taught, some really made me cry because they were reminding me what I was doing. Some would tell me, if it was not for you, when you caught me jumping through the fence and you caned me 6 of the best, I changed. So parents, please, when we err, we can err as teachers. Don't rush. Just take time and listen to us. Because we cannot want to injure your child. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me just to talk a little bit of the government policies on education. Having been the national chairman, and I handed over in August, and just last week, and in August I'll be handing over my position as Africa's representative to ICP. We need, as a sector, to seriously think about junior school. And it is a debate all of us must rethink. When I first started telling people that junior school, the best place to anchor it is in secondary schools. And in sub-county secondary schools, because 1, they are underpopulated. 2, they have teachers there. 3, they have some infrastructure that only needs to be improved. And 4, the content is secondary. And we have let this junior secondary school go to those sub-county schools. But when the Presidential Working Party went round and listened to people, they came and said, we anchor it in primary. I have no problem with the primary school teachers. They have improved. There are those people who have gone and gotten degrees, PhDs, no problem. They would easily be moved to those secondary schools and teach there. But we decided to leave the children in primary and change their uniform, but we never provided the infrastructure. Today, we are now talking of, can this junior secondary, now grade 9 next year, go to secondary school? Why didn't we see it earlier as a nation? And it is impossible, because it means as a country you have to de-gazette the structure today, gazette another one, and now bring it back to 844 for you to bring junior, the next class of junior secondary, in secondary schools. Why are we behaving as if we have no people to understand this? As if that's not enough, we are doing very little in preparing for senior secondary school. Very little. And therefore, that's why I'm asking our board, our parents, our teachers, to start thinking out of the 3 pathways that we are going to offer senior. Where is Machakos school? Where is our niche? Which 2 of the pathways can we pick and comfortably run with it in order to maintain the name of the institution and how the institution can continue being a beacon of hope for this region? That is something we need to think about. And nationally, all schools must be thinking, and government must start putting infrastructure in those areas. And of course, preparation of the teachers. As I conclude, I want to take this opportunity to wish all the students, new and those who have been there, the Form 1s as you come in. You are coming in one of the best schools in the region. But it is what you do in the school that will propel you to the next level. Remember, we are not in the competency-based curriculum for you. We are in the objective-based. We are still relying on the results of your terminal examinations. So as you get into Form 1 now, please know in the next 4 years, we will be judging you with the results that you will have produced. Don't wait until too late. Start now. To the parents, keep working with the teachers. Listen to them. When they call you, please come. I saw when we were here, we would call a parent and it takes long for the parents to come. In one school, a parent asked me, now you are calling me, if this child does not know maths, you are saying I need to come and discuss. I am aware he doesn't know maths. And that is why I brought him there to be taught maths. Yes. But we have discovered why he doesn't know this mathematics. And we feel you have a part to play. So you may know he doesn't know maths and you brought him to us to teach him the maths. In the process of teaching, we've discovered the gap. And that gap requires you to play a certain role. Come and listen to the gap we have discovered for your child. To the teachers, a lot is expected of us. I know when the results are not very good, the principal feels the pain. When there was a drop here, I felt the pain even when I was not teaching here. I remember I called the chair, we talked, I even called the principal, and I said this was not what I was expecting. But we started giving excuses. Rumors had the excuses. Oh, teachers were saying Mr. Indimuli didn't take us to Mombasa. Mr. Indimuli didn't. Mombasa. Not going to Mombasa made you not teach the students to pass. So whoever told me, asked him, are you serious? That can't be. I didn't believe it, teachers. But if you say it, I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Because that could never have been a reason. Isn't it? So let us not look for excuses. When we've stumbled, we wake up, dust ourselves, look at where we may have lost a step. If there was a stone that ilitufanya tukajikwaa, tutafute njia ya kutoa hiyo mawe ili tusijikwae tena. We remove it, put it aside, rudisha mchanga hapo, and we move on, so that we don't fall in the same mistake. To the non-teaching staff, I want to thank them. They are always the very silent heroes that nobody remembers them. But these are people who have to ensure that food is prepared on time. When we are sleeping, they have woken up to make sure that breakfast is ready. When we go to supervise, when teachers on duties, the deputies go there to check that breakfast is ready, they find it is ready. Because somebody woke up earlier than us to ensure it is ready. I want to salute them for the efforts they have put supporting the teaching staff. We even supported some to improve their papers, and I'm happy I can still see some. I can see, why am I forgetting your name? Mercy there. Huh? Have you graduated? Not yet. When you graduate, call me. I'll come to celebrate. Plus others, where is the accounts clerk? So, Mr. Principal, I want to encourage these non-teaching staff, those who want to better their papers. You can talk to the board again and support them to improve on their papers, because once they improve their papers, they also provide better services for the school. So thank you. I want to take special mention. Not that other teachers did not support me, but there are those who would die for me. Whether it is right or wrong, isn't it? And then when the principal goes, they say orphans or principal. But they will die and fight. I only lack what to give them, but I just want to wish them well in their growth as teachers. One such person is Mr. Kahi. Mr. Kahi was very supportive in terms of academic work. He would come and tell you his mind, this is okay, this if we do, here there is a problem, here walimu hafanyi vizuri, follow it up, you know. Even the students, when they hear Mr. Kahi is coming, if you are sleeping, they jump out of bed and run to where they are supposed to be. I'm sure you are still doing the same. I want to wish you well. I'm happy that you are promoted recently, and I still want to continue praying that you are promoted even more and become a principal one time. Of course, teachers like Madam Makau, as a Christian patron who would always pray for us. Where is she? She's there. Yeah. My colleague, Madam Kasanduku in physics and the library, but I used to disturb her so much when books are lost. Stand up, please. Yeah. But during physics, they would also tell me I'm not teaching. I did not attend the classes. So I would avoid some of the departmental meetings because I know what will be said. That was very good. Mr. Nzioka here is the person we started with when I joined the Machakos school. He was deputy in charge of discipline, acting deputy then, and we had to work with him. even support him until he was appointed deputy by Teacher Service Commission. We tried to get him to remain in Machakos school, but the Teacher Service Commission sent him elsewhere. And I'm happy that when a vacancy fell, Mr. Principal, you found it wise enough to get back Mr. Nzioka. Yeah? A submarine, if you would say. Mr. Professor Magoa would say, me I operate like a submarine. Napitia huko chini alafu utaona tu nimetokezea pale kuna makosa. He is a submarine. When it comes to identifying troubleshooting, where trouble is, students nini, ukitaka kushika wabangi haraka, anajua. Sijui vile anajua, lakini anajua. Anakuambia. So I'm happy that he's back. And very many other teachers, those who are doing guidance and counseling. Very many times I would call them. The head of department is there. Mwalimu tafadhali simama. Call him and tell him, but there's this case. Can you people handle? What is happening? Why can't you people talk? And they have been doing a lot of work. And very many others who have supported me. To all of you, I want to wish you well. To Machakos School, long live Machakos School. Thank you. As I said, no other school after leaving has invited me apart from this school. I feel greatly honored. Asante sana na Mungu awabariki.